Who claps first, you or me? I can't remember.
Okay, so on the... I clap first. I don't think you normally do an intro one.
Don't I?
No, you always do.
I do for look.
You do after mine.
Oh, did I not do it for episode 12, do you think? Do you think maybe I didn't?
I don't think you did.
Oh, no, that was one new episode. Maybe that's... Okay, maybe that's a secret. Okay, I'm not clapping anymore.
Okay, so we'll just have the one...
This is how religions start.
Yeah, exactly. Sports traditions. Right, okay, so I'm going to do my sync clap. We'll go straight into it, but the end ones are still important. You need to do it first.
I don't know, are they, though? Maybe I didn't do it on episode 12.
I can't remember, to be honest.
I definitely did do it on all the others. I'm not gonna... Like all foundations of good religions, I'm not actually going to check the facts. I'm going to just assume that must be the case. I'm just going to assume that must be the case and then blindly carry on not doing it.
Are we officially abandoning the end sync clap then?
Yes, so we can get 32 views on all our podcasts
for
an hour
well,
and forevermore.
to be fair, episode 14 is designated to fail then, because we both clapped for that one because it was in person.
Oh, that's a shame.
Actually, that was episode 13. Whatever, who cares?
Well, right, we did blaspheme strongly against Lord Linus, so...
That's true, that one's going straight in the fuck it bucket.
Yeah.
Right, here, episode 15. Here comes my sync clap.
Okay. Oh, the devil's tempting me, Kieran. I really want to clap, but I won't. I won't succumb.
Okay, yeah, we'll stay strong.
I won't succumb. I will not eat the apple.
Yeah, we need those. We need those views.
Good morning. It's so great to have all of you back here for another annual Scrambled event. Welcome to Scrambled Park. We here at the Scrambled Checksum take pride in providing misinformation to all of you people around the world. And this year, we are proud to announce that we are well on the way to hitting our target of net zero useful information by 2030. That's right, we're offsetting every bit of accurate information by at least an ample amount of inaccurate information to balance it out. And we aim by 2050 to have not a single dose of accurate information in our podcast. My name is Ethan. Welcome back to the Scrambled Checksum. And here to talk more about our goals for sustainable misinformation is my colleague, Kieran. Kieran.
Hi there, Ethan. Thanks so much for your wonderful segment. I'm so excited to be here today at the Scrambled Checksum podcast as we're announcing our best podcast yet. Now, what have we been doing for this past 2 weeks, I hear you ask? Well, we've been looking up some interesting facts about things that may or may not be true. And, most exciting of all, we've been planning new and innovative ways that we're calling bollocks tech. I can't keep the
I think that's quite enough of that.
That's quite enough of that.
Welcome back, everybody. I can say welcome back this time because we got an average of 10 minutes watch time on episode 12 where we put Tom Scott in our thumbnail. So maybe we'll put Tom Scott in all our thumbnails from now on.
I think it was our best episode yet.
Yeah, I'm now overthinking everything and want to leap right into the topic so we don't ramble, but that's also kind of our entire brand.
Well, Apple's entire brand is, marketing wank. So
yeah.
Speaking
of marketing wank, if you hadn't cottoned on from the intro, I want to talk about Apple's annual wank marketing event.
What is it? Which one was that? What was it? It wasn't the developer one.
Wonderlust was what it was called.
That was it. I got some ads for it on YouTube.
I actually started watching it, listening to it live because I was driving at the time, so I used Firefox responsibly on my phone, which allows YouTube playback in the background without having to pay for YouTube Premium. And
with the screen off.
Yeah.
Dang, that's your best feature announcement ever.
Is it? Oh well.
Yeah, I genuinely didn't know that.
You do have to install an add-in called, I think it's something like better video playback or something like that.
Now you do have to tap the screen every few seconds while you're driving.
No.
Just to continue the playback. You do have to keep your hand.
Phone freaking stuck in landscape mode.
You do have to keep your hand constantly on the play button in order to.
Kieran, I should have brought an iPhone.
Yeah, iPhones can do all of this and more.
Right, hang on. Let me tell you the name of the add-on, just so it. Oh, maybe I don't. Oh, I thought I'd. Video background playback background play fix is the add-in.
Excellent. Not Spawn.
No, but it's free on Firefox. So anyway, yeah. So the only thing that it doesn't do is it doesn't allow you to. It doesn't interface with the Android media controls.
Oh, so you can't do the like car stuff.
Well, no, you can, but there's no. It just doesn't show the what's playing on. When if you go into your
my car doesn't do that anyway.
If you go into the notifications shade on your phone.
Oh yeah.
There's no play, pause, skip, and
I never use that anyway.
And sometimes even if you close Firefox, it will carry on playing.
What's not to like?
Anyway, that's besides the point. Anyway, Apple had their Wonderlust event, and they've announced.
I thought that name was disappointing, to be honest. I thought Apple were like the kings of branding, and I was like, oh, Wonderlust, wow.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it just kind of it didn't really, and the ad was kind of like.
I've got to be honest, they were really scraping their barrel this year.
They every year though recently.
Well,
they have done some genuinely good ones.
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't really anything particularly exciting announced this year.
And I feel like they can't really do any more with the production values now, can they? It's like, what more can you? They've already got all the like fancy camera moves and the like transitions, people constantly in motion. The
coolest thing. Well, I'm super glad that the USB-C is coming to the iPhone. I'm a bit bummed that they're limiting it to 2.0 speed still on the regular pleb iPhone, not the Pro one. But it's still USB-C, so that's good.
Yep. Don't they have to do that though?
Yeah, they do, but I'm still glad it's happening. I don't care. I'm not giving them credit for it, but I'm glad that it's happening.
I'm glad they're not breaking the law.
The coolest,
like the coolest, right?
The coolest, yeah. They don't technically have to do it yet, but they
pretty much have to do it.
Yeah, and also they don't technically have to do it outside of the EU's jurisdiction, but they are doing so.
Thank you as well, Apple, for not just dumping all of the iPhones that you didn't sell into a big pit. Thank you for not illegally disposing of them that way. That was a good innovation, I think, this year.
And thank you for at least paying some of your employees a living wage.
And some of your tax in the countries in which you operate too, allegedly.
Yeah.
Thank you for at least,
yeah,
paying less, I assume more than zero.
Yeah, why don't you invest some of that money in teaching Tim Cook how to actually smile? He looks dead inside. Anyway.
To be fair, if you got wheeled out every year for that, I think you probably would as well.
Well, he's the fucking CEO. He could at least look a little bit enthusiastic.
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't know. If you had to come out, it would grate on you eventually.
I don't know. He just looks like every ounce of enthusiasm for life has been drained out of him.
I mean, again, if you were like Steve Jobs had that within him, didn't he? He was like, that was him.
Yeah. Well, so why don't they just fucking sack him off and not have him present anything?
Maybe there isn't anyone else.
He just looks so. But what about Craig Federighi?
But then he'd come out. Give him a few more years, and he'll also be dead inside.
I don't know whether he will. I feel like Craig.
Even Johnny Ive had to get out.
Yeah, but I don't know. He was probably out as soon as Steve left.
Even he couldn't keep it up indefinitely.
Transcended.
So the announcement that you're most excited about.
Yeah, and this is truly demonstrating how scraping the barrel it is the Apple Watch can now through sensing changes in your blood flow, etc., detect when you tap your finger and thumb together. So you can answer or decline calls with various taps of your fingers and things like that.
I mean, that's like the thing is, if someone else would have announced that, I'd assume it would be a janky pile of crap and won't work. But because it's Apple, it probably will work.
Yeah, it
works, right?
probably will. Yeah, they demoed. Yeah. Some people have demoed it. MKBHD did a quick demo with it, and it seemed to work quite well. So that's actually quite cool, I think.
It's cool, but it's like you say, that's something that I feel like go back a few years, and that's something that maybe like one of the other brands, like maybe I feel like it's something that maybe like a Huawei would do. Yeah. So it's like they didn't have the same feature level as an iPhone and the brand desirability, but they'd have like a gimmick. It feels like a gimmick basically that they'd be like, oh yeah, well we can do this cool gesture thing. But the difference is Apple will do it properly, and it will probably work.
I think what Apple still does really well is, and I hate using this word, but I feel like it's probably the most appropriate, is the magic.
Yeah, that's pretty clever, right? And it's like someone else would do that, but they'd release it at a point where it was like 90%
it'd be like
there,
super
and you'd be like,
unreliable and just, like you say, a gimmick.
yeah, a bit like when they first did, but it was a lot more impressive tech at the time. When they first did Face ID.
Yeah.
And it's like someone else would have done that, and it would have been like Windows Hello, I feel like.
Well, yeah, like when Microsoft originally introduced that on Windows 10 mobile, and I think it used like some kind of IR sensor, and it was supposed to be, from what I remember, it was specifically looking at your iris, but it was so unreliable. It was like,
and then Apple did it, and it like worked super. It did the like, was it LiDAR or radar?
It uses LiDAR, yeah.
LiDAR, that's it. It's got like all those millions of points on your face that it uses, and like it works really well. And yeah, that is kind of magic, like you say. But I feel like it's getting smaller and smaller in scope. Like it used to be unlock your phone by just looking at it, to now it's being like, oh, answer a call by pinching you, which is a gesture that like it's not like they're the first to do it. It's like the HoloLens uses that
and
like
the also, well, the Vision Pro, that I think Marquez Brownlee pointed that out as well. The Vision Pro, that's how you click on things. So on the Vision Pro, you look at it and then you tap your finger together.
It's clever, don't get me wrong, for the fact it's a watch and it does it through whatever the blood.
I think that just fascinates me. The fact that we're at a point where you can actually, the sensor data is so rich coming from this tiny point on your wrist that it can tell that you not only just tapped two fingers together, but the specific fingers that you tapped together.
And the fact that I assume it works pretty quickly because it's Apple.
Yeah, it's just,
so it won't, again, someone else
it's
will
all,
be slow.
it's all on device as well, like processing and everything. It's all.
That's clever.
It's actually pretty cool. Like I wouldn't buy the Apple Watch for it, but it's pretty cool tech.
And does it work like in motion and like, so you've got your hand at any angle? I'm guessing.
As far as I know, yeah.
That's
I don't
clever.
know what they didn't say is whether it has some kind of like, whether you have to like train it to your specific. I would have thought you'd have to, right?
Maybe a little bit, but even if you do, I bet it's because it's Apple, they'll have done that as well, where it won't be like, oh, you have to train it for 6 months and then you might be able to do it reliably. It'll probably be like, you do it 10 times, whatever, and it's like,
and then you like put on some weight or like extra muscle mass and it stops working or something. Or
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or you've like had too many energy drinks that day and it stopped working. Or,
or it's just like going on a complete glitch all over the place because your blood pressure's so high it thinks you constantly, every time your heart beats, it thinks you're double tapping your fingers together.
I wish it had, it's got some kind of feature where it's like it dials random contacts if you had too many cups of coffee or whatever.
It's pretty cool how they've done it actually, because it kind of works. It's basically there's specific functions, like if you're on your main like watch face, they have this thing. Again, I'm just going off what people have said. I've never actually used an Apple Watch, but they've got this thing called stacks, which is, I think, from what I understand, is kind of like widgets. But so you could scroll through them using the crown, or you could swipe through them. But now, if you're on the main watch face, you could double tap your fingers and it'll go to the first one. Double tap them again, and it'll scroll through them.
Imagine that if it glitched out.
Yeah, it's epilepsy.
Just constantly flicking through them.
Yeah.
That's cool, but again, it's like
or like in other apps, like if specific apps, it will activate the primary button, for example, that's in the app. So
it's pretty cool, but like that's not like a killer feature, is it? Like
it's
they used
not,
to have...
but I could see it being useful. Say like if you've got a phone call coming in and you're like just like you're holding something and you're carrying a load of stuff, or like all the opportunities where you'd be answering the phone call on your watch as opposed to answering it on your phone because you can't pull it out your pocket or whatever. Like I feel like being able to just quickly decline or answer the call, I don't know quite how that works. I imagine it must be like maybe like a single tap declines or something like that, or double tap answers, or vice versa. I'm not sure.
It's cool, but yeah, again, it's like they used to announce a lot more exciting things than a minor, although cool. And I feel like, again, that used to be stuff that the other ones would do, where it was like technically very cool, but like of limited marketability.
Yeah,
it's Apple, so people love it. But...
yeah, I think gone are the days, really. Where I think we've definitely reached peak smart tech for now. Until there's some, the next big thing is going to be like large, like my prediction is the next big thing will be an AI assistant that leverages the large language models and everything that we've got now to just be a machine vision to actually be able to operate a phone kind of like a human would, etc. So it's like an actual useful AI voice assistant, basically.
Kind of like that thing that Google demoed years and years ago, where it put that hairdresser appointment and then they like killed the feature.
Well, no, more than that. Like I'm thinking, like you could actually just say, I don't know, okay, assistant, I want a takeaway pizza delivered to my house in an hour. I want it to be from a 5-star restaurant with 5-star food hygiene, and I don't know, meet some ethical standards for their employees or something. And then
there are none found in your area.
And then it just sorts it for you.
And then you come home and realise that it's spent like 80 quid on the pizza.
Or like just give it a budget. Say like no more than £15 or something like that for.
It's like, I'm sorry, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Yeah, but then if it can't do it, it can't do it. But like, but if it could, it just goes off and does it for you. You don't have to like go find the app. You don't or literally do anything. It'll literally, you just tell it that and it does it. I feel like that's that'll be, if we can do that, that's the next thing. Like if there's only one phone that can do that, that would be like, okay, this is like the game changer upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. Or if it could, if you could have it, this is pretty next level, but if you were like, write me a shopping list for 5 healthy vegetarian meals.
Yeah.
That I can, for my groceries this evening. And it would like go away, find 5 recipes, put the links in your, I don't know, something app.
Or just order it and get it delivered.
Or just order it for like home delivery or something. Yeah, like that would be pretty cool. But yeah, at the minute, like you say, they're kind of trying to find.
I think because I think before, like I think the most of the smartphone innovation that happened, it was all hardware. But I think we've got to the point where the hardware is as good as it needs to be. So it's like there's no meaningful changes in hardware really from generation to generation anymore.
Not that you would get super excited about.
No. I mean, like, yeah, they get slightly more power efficient and a little bit more powerful, but the last generation was already way overpowered for scrolling through Instagram anyway. And
here's my question. Would you be more excited about the AI tech that we just talked about coming to one? Or would you be more excited if one came out that had an innovation where it could last for 6 months without a charge? What would you be more hyped about? Because that's like a hardware thing, but it's like if there was a leap in battery tech and they were like, okay, now your phone can last for 2 weeks on a charge.
I'd probably be more hyped for the 2 weeks thing.
I would as well, which is like interesting, right? Because it's like these AI things are like super clever, but actually, like I can order my own food.
Yeah, because it doesn't give me anything that I can't already do. You could argue that it's a mild convenience, but you know what? I can't decide what I want to eat in 2 hours, yet alone like 5 days. So like I'm quite all over the place with my eating
As
habits.
A follow-up,
but like having a phone that would last for 2 weeks and be as functional as my current phone would be epic. Because
as a follow-up, then,
like I wouldn't have to carry around a battery bank with me anymore, or like
Do you think that's just because we're like tech people and like other people that just put their phone on charge and leave it plugged in overnight and destroy their long-term battery health? Do you think they wouldn't be bothered about that at all? They'd be like, oh, whatever, I just plug my phone in overnight and it's fine.
I don't know. I think people would be hyped for
I think if it was 2 weeks, they probably would be, wouldn't they? If you're like, hey, like, can you imagine, like, Apple did Bollocks Lust or whatever it was, like 2024, and they're like, that would be because that would be like the kind of thing that they do as like a one more thing. Can you imagine the hype if they're like, oh, one more thing, your iPhone will now last for 2 weeks on a single charge?
Yeah, it uses a micro fission reactor.
It's powered by your own sense of smug self-satisfaction.
Breaking news, the iPhone now actually does give you cancer.
It's powered by your sense of superiority over others.
Yeah.
It draws its power live from your brainwaves as you feel smug and superior to Android users. Every time you send a message and see that blue iMessage thing
I think there are actually watches that are like, you get self-winding watches, don't you, that are powered by the movement of your body.
Yeah, analog ones that are like, they'll if you, as long as you wear them and you're moving around, they'll perpetually like operate.
Just wear them on your dominant arm, and I'm sure it'll take care of itself. Yeah, for like reasons and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make sure it's proper. Oh no. No, don't say anything about Apple.
Like when you're chopping vegetables, or like
thinking about how you own an Apple device,
stroking your dog, or
I thought you were going to say stroking your dongles.
Oh yeah,
of which you have several.
Yeah.
To actually use your computer. No, shut up, I've got some respect for Apple computers. That I was in the guise of
massaging your
Apple
partner, things,
exactly,
innocent things like that.
Yeah. But so okay, that a massive battery life improvement would be more exciting. But I think from what I've heard, that's probably less likely than the AI stuff, which is probably more likely to be the case.
I am excited about more and more energy efficient and powerful local processing of anything related to like machine learning and AI stuff, though.
Yeah, that'd be super cool, because it's the kind of thing that probably, like, again, I'm an Android user, surprise, surprise, but like that's the kind of thing that Google would never do, because like that's not what Google do. They're like, we want the data.
I think they do that, but then it's like it will log it, and then as soon as it has a decent network connection, it will send all the telemetry to them anyway.
They're like, look, we'll do it locally on the device for you, whatever, but then we still want the data.
Yeah, because they made a big deal. Apple did. Basically, the Apple Watch can now, Siri can now process questions relating to Apple Health. So that's their whole stack that does the heart monitoring and all that stuff. Whereas before it didn't, because they didn't want to send that data off to the cloud.
Yeah, that's fair enough, because like Google would have just sent that data straight off to wherever.
But now Siri can do it, because the Apple Watch can now process those Siri requests locally.
What kind of questions can you ask it though, based on that? Is it like, Siri, am I dying?
No, you can ask it questions about like your workout, or like, have I taken my meds yet today, or like, what am I doing?
I forgot that people go to the gym.
Yeah, I mean, people. I don't know. I think like the health.
They're super popular.
That's like the only reason I think I could actually see myself getting an Apple. I've been tempted to get an Apple Watch for that reason. They're super good and super popular. Yeah, the reason I haven't is because I'd also have to get an iPhone.
Yeah, that's true.
If it worked, if the Apple Watch worked with an Android phone,
locally.
Well, I think I'd still want it to be paired with my phone to be able to access various.
Oh yeah, because otherwise it's just for the health stuff.
Because I think if it worked with Android, I think I would probably get an Apple Watch.
Are they better than what Fitbits can do now?
Well, Fitbits are owned by Google.
Yeah, of course. I forgot about that. That's the sad part, right? Because like that would have been.
I would have got a Pebble.
Yeah, Pebble. Again, that was really cool.
Yeah.
I was super hyped. I really wanted a Pebble back when the original ones came out.
Yeah, it would have been what could have been.
But yeah, so you can ask Siri, am I alive?
Yeah.
And obviously all the stuff related to your workout, which I hadn't.
Yeah, obviously Tim Cook, when he asks, Siri, am I alive? Sorry, Tim, you are dead inside.
Yeah, calling the morgue.
Yeah.
So yeah, what
Steve
what was
Jobs
there...
wants his cadaver back.
Was there anything that was actually anything that was like super embarrassing?
The cringiest thing was the fucking 5-minute environmental skit thing that they did with Mother Earth or Mother Nature.
Oh no! Also, right. First of all, and you're probably going to get more anger about this than I will, but like even so, to do a skit about your environmental stuff. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I think it went down quite well with the general populace. I think the thing that annoys me...
Really?
To be honest, the thing that annoys me most about it is not... I don't actually have a problem with them doing that.
I thought it was going to be like... to be fair, I hadn't seen it, and I was imagining it being like an equivalent of their of their Microsoft bashing
I mean,
advertisements.
they did another like obvious kind of like, yeah, we totally care about this and we're not doing this just for the marketing things by ensuring that the person playing Mother Nature was black. So I'm sure they totally didn't do that I'm sure they totally did that because they care so much about
that could have been
equality and everything. I'm sure that's totally why they did it. Sorry, I'm just very cynical about anything to do with big corporations.
Even more cynical than me.
But
I was just imagining it being like, oh, hi there, Google, or some like analogy for it. How are you doing there with your, I don't know, your Android devices that are filling up the landfill?
Belching out CO2.
Your rolling coal Android phones.
Yeah.
You make me sick.
Freedom phones.
And then like freaking the Apple device comes along and like, oh, finally a device that I can feel good about purchasing every year.
Yeah. Anyway,
so they sent less iPhones to the landfill than ever before.
No, they were. Well, no. To be fair, they are actually doing some cool things. The thing that annoyed me most about it was, like I say, not the fact that it existed at all. It was more the fact that they did what all companies always seem to do when they announce, oh, we've what was it? They said that they reduced their water usage during manufacturing by something like 63 billion gallons or something like that, or liters or something. I can't.
But they didn't tell you how much they were using before and how much they're using now.
Yeah. So it's like it's a big number, sound good, but no context. So
and
like,
also,
meaningless.
if they didn't give you some meaningless comparison of like that's the equivalent of 11 Olympic-sized swimming pools that everyone seems to love doing for that kind of bollocks. Then they lose points in my
they didn't, but the lack of context is like constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
It, like loads of companies do that. Like I flagged it with the company I work for actually recently because they had something that they were going to trot out for marketing saying that they'd reduced carbon emissions in this certain area of the business by X amount, but not as a.
Don't worry, we've increased them elsewhere.
They weren't going to say it as a percentage. They were like how many percent we've decreased it by. They were going to use the figure because it's quite a big, nice sounding number, but they weren't going to say what the emissions were before and what they are now, which like is meaningless. So because like 63 billion liters or whatever it is. I can't remember. It's 63 billion out of, I don't know, like 2,000. Oh no, what would it be? It'd be 2 trillion, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Is insignificant. 63 billion out of 120 billion, pretty significant.
I was hoping that they'd have gone even more next level than that and been like, because that's fine, but that's a like widely recognized unit of measurement. I thought you were going to say they'd been like, oh yeah, we've reduced our emissions by 80 million micrograms.
Yeah. Yeah, nanograms.
Yeah, like not even a unit that's relevant.
Yeah.
The pressure of the CO2 that we would have emitted,
we've moved our CO2 measurements to 3 nanometer.
We've gone with the new architecture.
Yeah.
Also, now if you took the CO2 that we would have emitted and put it into a room at sea level, then the pressure within that room, assuming it's like all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
So they had the eco thing. What else did they have? Anything else?
I think that was kind of it. I'm done talking about Apple.
Are they still perpetually walking?
I would like I say I wasn't watching it. I was listening to it.
Oh, you listened to it, yeah, of course.
So
So you've listened to the Apple thing. And speaking of sustainability, is there any other device that you're excited about?
Very quickly.
Oh,
I do feel like every year I am getting closer and closer to actually seeing a reality where I would buy an iPhone.
Interesting.
But the thing that's stopping me, the headphone jack is annoying.
You could deal with that,
but I could deal with it.
Enough phones.
The thing that's
which is annoying.
stopping me is just the freaking fact that there's just a few apps that I use regularly. Well, in fact, there's only one I can think of. There's one app that I use regularly, which is Parsec, which is just Apple refuses to allow on the App Store.
Is it a bit like the situation they have with Epic Games and whatever that?
It's exactly that situation.
But I don't get why. Is it because they want to have
because
people
it's for
use
game
AirPlay?
streaming, and that means that they could stream a game to the iPhone that wasn't purchased through the App Store.
Oh, that's pathetic.
Yep.
Who cares?
That might
It's
change
like
though,
they're not-
because they might be forced to allow sideloading by the EU as well. So maybe that will change.
When is it the removable batteries are coming?
I don't know, but if removable batteries come, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe they'll find some
All
workaround.
I'm saying
Maybe
is
the
hell might freeze over.
Maybe the battery will be removable, but it'll be so difficult to remove.
Yeah.
And require so many specialist tools that only Lewis Rossman will be able to remove one.
Yeah. If only there were a solution to that.
Yeah, if only there was another device.
They could call it instead of the iPhone, they could call it, I don't know, the Fairfone, because it's like more fair.
Yeah,
To the
and it could be,
planet
you know,
and the consumers.
it could be actually sustainable instead of. Well, I'm saying this, I don't actually know too much about the.
They're a B Corp,
company
I
is-
think, aren't they?
Oh, okay, that one's the one that's not. That's legit, isn't it? Allegedly.
Let's have a look. Fairphone.
It's the Fairphone. Is that the modular one?
It is. Yeah. So the Fairphone 5.
The framework phone.
The
I mean, obviously
framework
not
of phone.
framework,
Well, I feel like framework laptop is more like the Fairphone of laptops, because Fairphone.
Yeah, because Fairphone were first, weren't they?
Yeah. So.
I remember looking at their website actually years ago and being like, "This is really cool."
Yeah, this is the first Fairphone that I've looked at and gone, okay. I feel like this is actually like you could, without it being repairable, you could maybe start to justify the price. And it is
Yeah, because that was
repairable.
the thing. It was, and they even kind of said that themselves, didn't they? They were like, "Oh, hey, this is super expensive, but it's because we need it to be to like fund R&D and because it's expensive to make and all that, right?" They
Yeah,
almost kind of admitted that it was like a proof of concept and like, don't buy it unless you can
yeah.
afford to basically fund them.
I mean, the jury's still out. There's not been really any reviews of it yet. There's only been first hands-on. But I think my initial reaction is I could actually see myself buying this phone and not feeling like I'd compromised on things that I want out of a phone to have one that I can repair.
Literally like the framework thing then, yeah, where it's like, you've not compromised other than on paying more money for it.
Yeah. And
To get the, like, features.
over the lifespan, I probably wouldn't have paid more for it, because I mean, I bought my current phone secondhand last year, about a year ago. That cost me just over £300. The phone that I had before that, I think, was £180, and that lasted me 3 years. The one that I had before that was around the same price. That lasted me about 2 years. This is before they either something critical broke on them, or they became so slow I couldn't use them anymore.
Yeah, they were basically worthless. Or like
So-
they weren't up to date enough to be secure and also install modern apps.
So if we go with the, yeah, and to be fair, I could have replaced my other phone. So we'll say £180 over 2 years. So the Fairphone is
Well, the Fairphone's £4,000.
no, it's €699.
That's pretty good.
Euros.
That's
to
really good
pounds.
actually. Wow.
So
That's like less than a flagship like OnePlus would be.
yeah, so it's
nowadays.
about £600. So that means, roughly speaking, it needs to last me like 6 years to be the same price. And I believe it's like 5 years of software support, possibly
Pretty
6.
good.
So I feel like that's there. So
You've got to just not break it.
yeah, I could. It might even be more than that, actually. Hang on, let's have a look.
And then, like, presumably the only part is, assuming you didn't break anything, the only part you would need to swap during that time period would be the battery.
Yeah.
So
But even if
which I
something
assume
else
aren't
does
super
break, you can
expensive.
swap the camera module easily. You can swap the screen easily.
Here's an idea. Now, you know we were talking about making the scrambled phone a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
what
actually
you do,
remember that, but
it was a while ago. It was probably about 9 months ago if you look at our recording dates. Here's the plan, right? We make the phone modular and repairable like this one, and then we sell it for a really cheap price. But then the catch is everything breaks super easily.
yeah.
And then we make our money on people having to buy. So people are buying the modular parts.
What about a disposable phone? So like you can only charge it once.
Oh, so like everything's sealed like an old disposable camera.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not even the SIM card is removable.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to. Yeah. I feel like
Every time it's a new phone number.
Okay, here we go. So
Drug dealers would love it.
okay, your Fairphone 5 is fast, really fast. The unique blah 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 blah. Outlives most other phones. It's backed with OS software and security updates until 2031.
Wow,
So that's 8 years.
that's pretty good. That's really impressive, actually. Genuinely.
And they plan at least 5 Android OS version updates after Android 13.
That's genuinely very impressive. Props to them.
And
for
it
that.
comes with a 5-year warranty.
Wow. Obviously excluding the battery, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm guessing so.
Which is fair enough.
We did actually talk about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And then, like I say, the scrambled phone though, no year warranty,
Yeah.
5-day warranty.
No, not even that. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
I think like 6-hour warranty.
The warranty is for the shipping period.
4 hours actually. 4 hours of screen on time.
It's guaranteed to be in one piece when you unbox it. That's the
Ooh.
warranty.
Do we want to
No,
go that
you're right.
far?
It's a lot of pressure on the packaging. Yeah.
Yeah.
In no fewer than 5 pieces.
Yes.
When you unbox it.
Yeah.
And then no warranty. It's cheap though. No warranty, and you can replace every part on it
Daily.
Well,
Yeah, we'll do a
allegedly.
subscription service, so we'll send you a new one every day.
You get a new battery every day.
No, you get an entire new phone every day, and then you
Oh,
just,
yeah, new
just
phone.
lob the old one in the landfill.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And then
convenient.
you get
You don't have to remember to charge it.
Yeah, and it runs off 9-volt batteries.
Yeah.
So you plug one into the little tab.
No. It's all built in.
Oh, it's all
Yeah, we
fixed
don't. We
within
won't
the
want them
phone.
to think that they could just get another 9-volt battery. And
That's true. They could buy
just to
third-party
be safe,
ones.
if there is any battery life left when the clock hits midnight, it does just like spontaneously combust.
It turns the screen on full brightness, plays audio at full volume,
Yeah.
and runs the camera constantly.
It runs the CPU until it de-restricts the CPU's power limit, so that and temperature sensors, so it will just run until it melts.
I would say just run it like that constantly to get it to be fast enough to compete with like other
Yeah.
phones.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, who cares if it melts into a puddle by the end of the day? It's going in the bin anyway, and we'll send you a new one the next day.
Yeah.
And then maybe
Just make sure you dispose of it irresponsibly. Just throw it straight in the general waste.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Or
put it below...
if you can't be asked to do that, just throw it out the nearest window.
Yeah, put it below other. In fact, that's probably easier because then, like, I don't know, if your bins get like suspiciously full of them, then you might get in trouble with the council. But if you just throw it out your car window on your drive home,
Yeah.
you'll have another one waiting for you in the mail.
Yeah.
Sent using diesel vehicles.
Oh yeah, only diesel, decattered diesel vehicles as well.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they have to be at least 4 litres rolling coal.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We use a local network
and
of
they're
irresponsible 4x4 owners.
only 3-speed gearboxes as well. So just
Oh,
so,
you gotta rev
just so
them
you've
high.
got to rev them real high.
Well, you got to know if
as
you're
inefficient as possible, and like
you have to know when it's coming. So like they won't even have to ring the doorbell. You'll hear them and smell them coming.
Yeah, they also have innovative drag design. So we actually built them to be as draggy as possible.
The phones are actually mounted not in the car but on the side.
Yeah, and they've also
like
got
a big
parachutes dragging behind them constantly.
wall. Constantly, yeah. Perfect. It's the antithesis of this new.
We'll call it the freedom phone.
even still being manufactured?
I
Did they ever get manufactured? Did they ever make even a single one?
I think they did make them, but weren't they just like they were just like a rebranded shitty knockoff of something, weren't they?
Didn't they come with spyware on them, allegedly?
I would not be at all surprised.
Oh dear. Well, yeah.
So anyway, yeah. Buy the Freedom phone. Don't buy the Fairphone. It's far too ethical.
Yeah, exactly. So are you hyped for the?
I am.
Fairphone?
Yeah, I'm not going to buy one now. But if I'm going to wait and see what the reviews are like, and when time comes to replace my current phone, which I am going to say, based on its current trajectory, is probably a few years away.
As you throw it out the window, based on its current trajectory,
yeah, based on its current ballistic trajectory, into my neighbour's garden, straight through into their fish pond.
Yeah, that's going to be about 5 seconds. Yeah. Perfect. Right, time to order one.
I'll order one now. Yeah, I'll just get a new Apple Watch while I'm at it and go and shake.
Do you think you're going to get the new Freedom phone before you get a framework laptop?
You mean Fairphone?
Fairphone.
Oh no.
Fairphone. Right. A Freudian slip there.
Oh no, I don't think so. No.
You think it'll be the Freedom laptop first?
I really hope that my current phone lasts me another few years, because it's like the most I've ever spent on a phone. I know some people might go, "What? You only spent £300 on it?" It's like, yeah, I spent 300 whole pounds on it.
That's not per month either, listeners.
No, that was up front. I bought it up front, second hand. The depreciation on it was insane. Like when I bought it, it was
the second you bought it, it became.
Well, no, because it new. This phone was like £1,000. It came out in 2020, and I bought it in secondhand in 2022. So it depreciated by like 70% in 2 years.
The depreciation on phones is ridiculous. Like you could probably, I mean, like what is it with even with like a brand new iPhone, like the model comes out.
Well, no, actually, no, iPhones barely depreciate at all.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they do hold their value. That's one of the benefits of them, isn't it? Is that they hold their value really well.
Yeah, because like I was looking at it, like one of the reasons I bought it is like, okay, so the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, which is the phone I've currently got, came out in 2020, and I can get one for £300.
The same price as an iPhone 3GS,
which is £5 cheaper than the iPhone XS in similar condition, which came out in 2018, I want to say.
Yeah, that's true. I have looked, because I've looked at whenever I've looked at phones for like relatives who are not very tech savvy, my first thought has always been, or like a tablet. My first thought has always been, oh, Android tablets and stuff can be a bit like finicky and like faffy, and they'll bring up prompts and stuff sometimes that aren't particularly clear for a non-tech savvy user. I'll try and see it. I'll price up like an iPad because they're really simple. And then I'll price up like not like a 10-year-old, but I'll price up like a 5-year-old iPad, and I'm like, Jesus, that's so expensive.
I actually thought the price I paid for my iPad was quite reasonable.
You got a decent price for yours, to be fair, but like it compared to when you can buy like an Amazon
but Amazon sell them for a massive loss.
Oh yeah, I know Amazon
piles
sell a
of trash compared to an iPad.
I know, but like if you're buying one just for like internet browsing for someone non-tech savvy,
I don't think they're even good for that though, because they're so fucking slow and laggy.
Yeah, probably not the Amazon one, but like you can get a cheap Android tablet for ridiculously.
I don't know. I have never used a affordable, in inverted commas, Android tablet that isn't a pile of wank.
Oh yeah, they're and that's the thing. It's like you end up not getting one at all because you're like, well, I can buy this pile of crap, or I can buy an obsolete iPad for quite a lot.
If you need something with a larger screen than a phone for doing some casual browsing of the internet, and you don't really need to do much typing, the iPad is the option.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a Chromebook.
No, the iPad is the option. It's cheaper than a Chromebook. It's cheaper than any decent Android tablet, like the Samsung, whatever they're called, the Samsung freaking Galaxy Tabs and the Pixel Slate or whatever. Unless you... actually, no, the new Google Nest, whatever it's called, that tablet, that could be potentially a good option, actually.
But like on the used market, if you're looking at like years old devices,
Yeah, but even like, okay, let's have a look. I'm on webuy.com.
So I'm going to go to AliExpress.
A popular...
Now, if you buy 1,000 of these generic unbranded Android tablets, one of them, first of all, might work. No, I exaggerate.
Right, okay. Let's set ourselves some criteria. So we want an Apple iPad. Yeah.
Can't be just a picture of an Apple iPad.
We want it to be grade B, so that means no major damage, like maybe a couple of scuffs on the housing, but no broken screen,
Has a back.
no scratches on the
Has a screen.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to set our budget to no more than £300.
To no more than £2,000.
No more than £300. And let's say we want it to have at least 128 gig of storage. So let's see what the cheapest...
And we want it to run Chrome OS.
Okay, so if we go highest to lowest, so for £300, you can get a 128 gig space grey 8th gen iPad, which is what I've got.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. To be fair, that hasn't depreciated a whole lot. That's about what I paid for it, I think.
That's pretty good, though.
I think, I don't know. I think mine was maybe 380. So, and that were, when did I buy it? I think I bought mine in 2021, so 2 years ago. So
that's pretty good, though.
Yeah. So yeah, you can. And that's like, yeah, that's not even like, that's not like a base spec. That's 128 gig storage. So, you know, you could get an iPad Pro first generation for 280. Probably wouldn't.
You can get a first generation iPad for 50 quid.
Yeah, we don't do that.
What do you mean?
That's a bad idea.
It's got a screen, it's got a battery, with probably not very much battery life left.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, like they're pretty affordable, I'd say.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
And that'll last you quite a while.
Yeah, it's not gonna like immediately be obsolete.
Like, I haven't noticed any degradation in the performance of my iPad.
That's because the degradation is so gradual.
Well, exactly, yeah.
It's not like you wake up overnight and it's degraded completely. So yeah, you can
yeah,
suffer
but
the degradation.
it works in every meaningful, measurable way. It works
just as good as the day it rolled off the production line.
Yeah, just as good as the day I got it, and
just as good as a brand new iPad.
It still gets software updates.
That's pretty good, to be fair, especially for Apple. Bloody hell.
Well, no, Apple have always been pretty good at it. To be honest, that's one thing Apple have always been good at.
What about when they released those software updates? Allegedly, made the battery life worse.
They did. Okay, so they didn't. Technically, they didn't have a bit of code that actually made the battery life worse. What made the battery life worse is they were doing more stuff in the background.
But still,
that got kind of misconstrued in the reporting.
You couldn't roll it back.
No.
It just permanently degraded your phone's performance.
But
only the older phones.
Okay, point me to any other operating system developer where that's not true.
I think it was more the fact that it got forced on people.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, like, operating systems have, as they gain more features, they're going to use more CPU. Like, I don't actually have a problem with them doing that. What you're thinking of is when what they did is they slowed down iPhones to make they slowed them down to make the battery life consistent with before the update,
which was also kind of like
which I feel like they should have given them a choice.
Yeah, there was
but they didn't not provide updates.
Yeah, but it's like, you know,
Apple have always, like, just for accuracy's sake, Apple have always been pretty good at providing updates on iPad OS and iOS devices. Like they like,
whether you like it or not.
Android, until recently, no Android vendor could hold a candle to it.
No, to be fair, some Android, there was I forget which OnePlus model it was. There was one that, like, I think it might have been the OnePlus 2. Don't quote me on that, but there was one where it's like I'm sure they promised like it would get a certain Android update, and then it just didn't.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, and it was like not a long time after the phone came out. I think it was like 18 months or something after, again, allegedly.
The phone, again, the phone I currently have, £1,000 new, and was released in 2020. It's now 2023, and the last time it ever received a software update was at the September 2022.
Was the day it was released.
So a year and 9 months. That's how much software support it got for something that someone paid £1,000 for.
That's pretty piss poor, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's normal on Android.
Yeah.
That's like the that's actually quite good. The fact that it got any OS updates at all is actually kind of noteworthy.
The fact it
which is fucking shit.
The fact it doesn't still have bugs that it had on day one.
Yeah. It's great though. It doesn't have bugs that it had on day one. It's just got some bugs that it didn't have on day one that will never get patched.
To go with the bugs it had on day one.
Yeah, that'll never get patched.
Yeah, and all the apps that you can that gradually become harder and harder to install.
Yeah.
You get more and more warnings that they're less and less compatible.
Samsung. To be fair, actually, that's not that one thing. So yeah, where Apple does provide software updates, they then obviously the newer apps won't necessarily run on older versions of iOS. That's not so much of a problem on Android for the most part. If you go back far enough, but because the OS support has been so abysmal over the years, it's kind of forced developers to support older versions of Android still. So I don't think I've ever tried to install an app on a version of Android that you're not actually completely insane for still trying to use now.
I was going to say, yeah, because I've definitely had that, but that was on a version of Android.
Yeah, the only time I've had that is recently. I tried to install YouTube on Android 4.
Oof.
And it couldn't do it. But Android 4, for context, came out in 2011, 2012, something stupid like that.
Yeah, it's over a decade old.
2013. Yeah, it's and it was on a phone that is literally unusable.
Yeah.
In terms of it cannot actually access the modern internet. It's just not got the horses. So
you did it for the cringe.
Yeah, I just did it because it was my first smartphone and I still had it in a drawer and I wanted to see what it could do. It turns out absolutely nothing useful. It doesn't even have 4G.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I couldn't even use it as use it as a modem.
Yeah, it's just useless.
Yeah. So I don't think that's and also Google kind of does its updates differently to Apple. Because Google kind of does its updates in a modular way, so you do get some security and system patches.
Yeah, I like the fact that you get
the Play Store, which is still kind of OS updates in a way. They're patches for parts of the OS without doing
you don't get
full
the feature
OS.
updates, but you get the security patches. Yeah, I do like that.
So you do still, whether Apple, it's kind of all or nothing.
Yeah, if you stop getting updates, you stop getting all the updates.
Yeah. So, swings and roundabouts, different ways of doing things, but is what it is.
Now earlier on, changing topic. Earlier on, you spoke about a conference that was very cringy.
Oh yeah, the Apple's annual marketing wank event.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about this week is that I have attended a conference which I believe is even cringier.
No way.
Oh, absolutely way.
No way. Is it in the Guinness Book of World Records? It must be.
It should be. It should be. And I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
So without going into too much detail, I recently attended a conference that was hosted by more of an expo really, but whatever. It was hosted by a tech company, relatively large tech company. And they'd hosted this conference, and it was the most cringy experience I think I've ever had in my life.
Go on.
So I'm going to set the scene for you, and you tell me what you make of this.
I'm closing my eyes.
So imagine yourself sat in a conferencing hall, quite a big auditorium style thing.
Yeah.
And so
the
speakers,
is there a large crowd?
There's a
Chatter?
relatively large crowd. I wouldn't say a modest crowd. There's no chatter because someone's just done like a little speaking segment after lunch.
Okay. What's the lighting like and the acoustics?
Dimmed lighting on the audience, acoustics. Think large venue acoustics, so wireless mics coming through, professional speakers, that type of thing.
Kind of echoey though.
Not echoey. No.
Is it like a conference room, or is it like a kind of a theater kind of thing, or like?
More like a theater, more akin to a theater.
Right. Okay. And what does it smell like?
Nothing really.
No.
No vivid smells.
Doesn't smell of like that kind of like synthetic-y kind of fabric kind of.
No surprise. No, because it wasn't like cinema seats. It was like just chairs.
No. Okay.
So yeah, someone had just done like a little speech, and then oh no, the microphone stopped working.
Oh no! Did they not? Did they notice?
Well, they were tapping on the mic, but music suddenly started coming out of the speaker system.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's not too unusual. For a second, I thought you were going to say from the microphone. That would have been a bit strange.
Oh no, that would have been very strange. Or their own headphones. And then suddenly, some people emerged and started dancing. And oh, it was all part of the show.
Oh no.
Yeah, the microphone wasn't actually malfunctioning, it was all a bit, and then suddenly some people ran in and joined the dance troupe, and they were all dancing up on stage.
Oh boy, how exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. So this happened for a while, and it's like, yeah, whatever, we were watching some dance. They're very good, to be fair. The dancers can't complain, they're very good. But then came the audience participation.
Oh god.
And that was where
there's nothing. Why do people do that? Why your target audience, if it's a tech conference, is a bunch of introverted nerds. Don't make them get involved in a fucking audience participation.
This is true. There wasn't as many. It wasn't as techy as I'd made it sound. But the fact it was a tech company, there were some like more like
wanky marketing folk.
No, maybe not wanky marketing folk, but more like more like wanky business folk.
Okay,
but still not notorious dancers.
Not all marketers. I just want to qualify. Not all people who are in marketing are wanky folk.
No, exactly.
But like, I struggle to be objective about marketing. I really hate misleading marketing with a passion.
Just like not all techies are like friendless nerds who sit in a basement.
Yeah, just most of them.
Yeah, not all marketing folk are.
The only reason I'm not in a
wanky.
Basement right now is because my parents don't have one. So
yeah, we don't have very many basements in the UK. It's more bedroom.
Yeah, small bedroom.
Yeah. But yeah, so then the audience participation begins. And the dance troupe are actually trying to do a dance lesson.
Oh no.
With everyone getting in. Come on, everyone, get involved.
Oh no.
Don't be shy. It's like, come on, if you're introverted, you're wrong. Get involved.
No, I don't want to.
All introverts secretly long to join in a big public participation thing.
Right now.
Nope.
Right now, all I want to do is to just slowly slip into non-existence.
You there in the hat. Come on, don't be shy.
No, I wore this
Everyone's
hat to hide from reality.
Yep, so
I wanted to slip in unnoticed.
Yep, so then they had everyone trying to... Well, this is the thing, I absolutely refused. I was like, I'm not... This is stupid.
Okay. Did you say that?
I'm not fucking doing it.
Excuse me, can you just pass me that microphone? This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I have a question. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
It was like... The venue wasn't set up for it. They were trying to get people to move left and right, but if you imagine like a big crowd of people in between rows of chairs, there's not enough room.
Yeah.
And like a bunch of people aren't participating, so it's like there's no room to move left and right. So that was a complete failure. Loads of people are just not getting involved at all. They just stood up.
Oh god.
They were trying to get people to dance to like Thriller. So doing the like hand thing. But then it was like this pop music medley, and then fucking LMFAO Party Rock Anthem came on.
Oh yeah. Party Rock's in the house tonight.
And then if you can imagine someone with an English accent telling an audience full of people, about 90% of which are not engaged at all, to come on everyone, shake your booty.
Oh Christ. Does that
Like,
does that count as sexual harassment in the workplace?
I just wanted to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Oh
like,
no.
this is like my idea of hell.
Yeah.
And
Me too.
yeah, I just wanted to get your take on it and see, like, is this...
No, I would be exactly the same.
And, like, why do they do this, though? Who is that for?
I don't know.
No one seems to be enjoying it.
They're trying to be cool and, like, down with the kids, I guess.
What was hilarious was they were filming it, clearly for their social media, but, like, it must have looked like the saddest thing
I really
ever.
hope that they have the sense not to publish that.
You would have thought so. And, like, I felt for the performers, because, like, it wasn't their crowd. Like, they obviously were doing what they were told to do by someone, but
maybe
like,
that's all they do. Maybe that's all they do is show it to, like, corporate events and, like, maybe it's a really depressing existence.
it must be right.
Show up to corporate events and dance in front of people who just wish them nothing but painful deaths.
Because that's the thing, like, the people doing it, they weren't, like, talentless hacks. They were very, very good dancers, and, like, they were clearly, like, very, very into it themselves because they had to be, but, like, they were very good. They weren't just, like, a bunch of, like, business people trying to dance and get everyone else involved. They were, like, actually, like, very good, but they were cursed to try and get this audience full of people who had just eaten lunch.
Oh, that's even
Like,
worse.
Yeah, right after lunch.
I could
And
almost see it as if it was like the first activity of the day to try and, like, you know, wake people up a bit, get the blood flowing.
But after lunch,
Yeah.
and yeah, I felt like I was at a you know those MLMs like Herbalife
No, but
that do those like big flashy events, and they have people like in the audience clapping along and like yelling out slogans.
if you're
and stuff.
happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Well, you say that.
Oh no,
one
they
of the
didn't.
songs that
They
had
did
us,
not.
It wasn't that one, but one of the songs they had us doing was Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes.
Oh fucking hell!
Yep. And that was the moment when I was like, I am 100% disengaged here.
The only time I would enjoy that is if like me and you were both there and could enjoy it through just silently mocking it, like through like knowing looks.
Yeah. Even then, I'd be reluctant to do it because like they were filming it.
Oh
for
no, I
social
wouldn't.
media.
I wouldn't do it. I would just enjoy. I'd just enjoy like making kind of like underhanded comments about it to each other.
Yeah, you wouldn't get involved.
And like just, you know, making eye contact and just kind of going,
doing the like, cut the mic gesture.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's a little bit iffy. Just put a stop to it. Just end this now.
Someone burn this building down before something else goes wrong.
Yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to basically make sure that I wasn't just like.
Well, I don't feel like
cynical...
I don't think I'm the most objective person to ask that question of.
It just hurt my soul.
I'd like to think that any sane person would just like cringe so hard at that.
And most people were not getting involved. Like they were hyping it up as so they were like, "Yeah, you're doing great," and it's like no one's fucking doing anything. Which was even worse. 'Cause it's like obviously they had to make it sound like a big success.
Yeah.
And it was just, yeah. There was also, to link it back to our topic at hand, someone from I don't want to go into too much detail, but someone from a company that manufactures phones was doing a speech there. And they were talking about their eco-credentials, which, based on the manufacturer, I was very dubious of. And then they were like...
Okay, you'll have to tell me who that is off air.
I will tell you after we've wrapped recording, but they claimed they were big into the eco stuff, and then said one of their key target markets were people who bought their phones as a second phone that they would use on the weekends.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
That's a thing? People have more than one... People have more than one phone now, like they like rich people have more than one car.
Yep, and they have a demographic that they market to.
Seriously?
But they got great eco-credentials that they didn't go into any detail on whatsoever.
What
Just said they were...
actual fuck?
Sustainability is important to us.
I think I might know who that is.
Yeah, you have to tell me afterwards. But yeah, that was the conference Cringe Fest. Speaking of Cringe Fests, I hope this episode hasn't been one.
Yeah,
or if it has, it's been of the enjoyable kind. And if you want to subscribe for more enjoyable Cringe Fests, you can follow us on, and I'm going to hand over to Ethan here because I get these wrong every time.
YouTube, Spotify, Deezer, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, a handful of other places.
Audible,
yeah. Tell us, speak to your friends. Tell them to listen to our podcast and rate, like, comment, subscribe.
Listen all the way through to the end.
Ding the bell. Listen through to the end. Listen to another episode.
And we'll be back every other Monday.
Thank you very much for listening. Oh, and before we go, one more thing. Fuck. Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.